Look! Look, the dynamic duo! I got
So, hey guys, welcome to the Dynamic Duo. I'm Franz.
I'm Kevin. Welcome to the new Avengers Tower and Batcave, everybody.
Hey, welcome. Hey, we've got some, listen, yesterday we went, you and I, by the way, thanks for the treat yet again. But we went to see Black Widow. And I want to get your opinion. I want to get your fresh opinion. Let me know what you thought.
First of all, I enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to. Not that I was walking in with a negative attitude to start with. I don't want anybody to misunderstand that, but I really enjoyed it. Was it a perfect movie completely? No, but I did in fact have a good time with it. Over the last couple of months, which I'm sure you and most of the world is aware of, Scarlett Johansson has been saying over and over again that this may in fact be her last outing as the Black Widow. Based on yesterday, I sincerely hope not. I would love to see some form of a follow-up to this, in spite of what happens in Endgame. For anybody that doesn't know, and I'm not gonna say anything, but it's one of those type of things where I would love to see her do this again. It was a very well done production. I thought the chemistry between the actors was on point. I really, really thought that the way they handled a lot of the characterizations between them were tight, because, and what I mean by that is this was not one of those kind of movies where or stories where everybody got along from day one and everything was perfect from the first roll of film, and I really appreciated that from it overall. I truly liked it.
That's excellent, because like you, well, actually, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I certainly liked it more than I thought. It was way better than I thought it was going to be. And again, I wasn't approaching it with a negative point of view either, but I didn't expect it to be this good. And in my opinion, it's a great movie. You said, is it perfect? No. Perfection is hard to describe. I think it's as perfect as it needs to be. I think I put it on the same level as Captain America: Winter Soldier, which to me is a perfect movie. And I put it right there with the same level. Now, what do I mean by that? What do I mean by it's a great movie, and why do I love it? First of all, from the very beginning of the movie, it's a serious movie. It's not a jokey movie. I cannot stand jokey movies that don't take themselves and their material and their characters seriously. So the movie starts off as a legitimate, well-directed movie. The story, the writing, the performances are solid. It's a fascinating thing. I'm sitting there thinking to myself, the opening scene is, and I'm not spoiling anything, but two children playing. And it's wholly different than Jupiter's Landings that two children are playing. From every point of view, it's just better. It's a higher quality movie. And when you go into a movie, it's a fascinating thing, particularly guys like us who tend to have an opinion about movies. I go in there thinking, okay, is this going to wow me? And I go in there critiquing it. Is this good enough? Is this good enough? And sometimes that distances me from the movie and makes me kind of disconnected to what's actually happening and to my enjoyment of the movie.
Right.
So as I'm watching and I'm instinctively doing that, I'm checking the boxes. I'm like, yeah, this is good. Cinematography, acting, writing, everything is checking off the boxes. But what was cool, what was very, very cool, is that at one point, I just got into enjoying the movie. I just got into enjoying the movie. I think that's the highest compliment that I could pay a movie. It was, in my opinion, that good. It had the trifecta. it's as good from an action point of view as any of the, you know, Mission Impossible, Born Identity type movies. It had that type of action to it. But at the same time, it took that action and elevated to a superhero level, which is always important to me. I'm a superhero fan. Deliver the superhero. A lot, you know, in the beginning, she wasn't wearing a costume, and it was Born Identity, which, as good as it was, wasn't completely satisfying me. But the villain comes in, and it's a super villain. And then she does don the costume, and it's a Black Widow costume. You know, as authentic as it could be. I would have done a little bit more authentic, but it's as authentic as it could be with respect to the MCU. In fact, probably better than I've ever seen her in any of the MCU movies. So you've got that. You've got the full action. You've got the connection between the characters. There are relationships. There's weight. There's gravitas to what's happening to the characters. There are quiet moments, like quiet performances that were awesome and powerful in a superhero movie. That's great. There's the conflict builds up to a crescendo, and there's a reason for them to fight. There's what's the word I'm looking for, but there's a motivation for them to fight rather than just kind of going along type of thing. And the climax is spectacular, and it's great, and it bumps up the action level one after the other. So listen, I recommend this movie. I recommend it 100%.
I mean, I if I can add to what
Sure.
you just said, part of why the performances stuck out for me, although I love Scarlett Johansson as an actress, and for me, she is the perfect Black Widow. I have to admit to you, in my opinion, Florence Pugh stole that movie. Okay.
Which one is that?
Her sister.
Is that the? I'm sorry.
The young girl who played her sister.
I swear to God,
She
you're absolutely
stole
right.
that movie.
She did. She did. She
She
did.
stole that movie.
did.
And in all honesty, if in some context, which is what I'm personally hoping, as I said before, that there's a way of giving this a reprieve and continuing it in some sense of the word, the way to do it without Scarlett would be to allow her sister not to take over the mantle of Black Widow, but to continue that adventure portion of this.
Yeah.
Within,
By the way, I think she can take advantage of the Black. I think she can take over the mantle of the Black Widow. You know, you're right. She stole the. I felt it. I was
She stole the
absolutely in love
movie.
with her. She stole the
movie.
show. And if I may, and forgive me for interrupting you, but if I may, one thing, another aspect of the movie that was really brilliantly done, and I use my words carefully, and I'm using the words brilliant, is the humor. The humor in the movie. There were points where I was literally laughing out loud. But unlike Thor Ragnarok, which is a silly comedy, which is a ridiculously stupid, silly slapstick movie, the humor here it fit perfectly. And it made sense. It never came out of bounds. It was characters either saying something funny or reacting to things in a natural way that's funny.
Right.
So the humor was great to me, and of course I forget her name, but that actress is who brought the humor. You know what? Okay, I keep ragging on Thor Ragnarok. I keep ragging on it. Let me give you an example. When you have humor in a non-comedy movie, it's a horrible mistake for everyone to be doing slapstick, because then it becomes a slapstick movie. Then it loses the weight and the gravitas of the movie itself. So if the villain of that movie of Black Widow is doing slapstick, then what the threat level goes down.
Right.
If Black Widow is doing slapstick, if each character is doing slapstick, then it's a slapstick movie, which, unless it's a comedy, and I came for a comedy, is out of place, which is what Thor Ragnarok does. Sorry about that. I just had to get my
No, it's
Ragnarok
fine, and
picture.
I understand completely, and I don't want to drone on, but very quickly to your point, and especially in the case of a lead villain, one of the only times that I've ever known comedy to be a part of the payoff and the pathos for an actor, for a script, and for the way that everything was structured within the production is honestly the way that Gene Hackman pulled off Luthor in the original Superman movie. Because as nasty and calculating as he was, he had that little quip of comedy in the back of his mind, and he would kind of pull it to the forefront, and it didn't ruin Luthor.
By the way, in the interest, guys, listen, we want to get subscribers, and we want to try to keep the videos as short as possible. But as you can see, this is an interaction that we can't help but continue the conversation. So we're going to break up this video into two parts. The movie review we've already done. We recommend it highly. And let us know what you thought. Let us know if you agree or disagree about that. But we're going to continue this conversation because I don't want to let it go. And if you're interested in it, definitely join us for part 2 of this conversation.
Go see Black Widow.
So.
This looks like a job for Superman.
Hey, look! It's Spider-Man!
The dynamic duo return next week. Don't listen.